It's an obedience class only for the hams. The story when we come back.
From KOLD, News Center 13, this is the 10 o'clock news.
It's graduation day for a very special group of students. As Laura Bennett tells us, these pupils walk on 4 legs, have snouts, and a lot of personality.
Meet the first graduating class of Potbelly U. These talented porkers are strutting their stuff, all graduating with honors from what may be the first Potbelly Pig obedience class in the country.
My name is Karen Garvin. This is Pee-wee, my first Potbelly Pig. I purchased her when she was 8 weeks old. At that time, she was extremely difficult to handle, and looking back, I don't believe she'd been handled at all prior to then. Fortunately for me, having been an animal behaviorist for 15 years, training mostly dogs, I had a sound footing to begin learning how to train my pig. I wanted a real pet, a personable relationship, a pig that could go places, attend the classes I teach, be easily groomed so that she could live in the house, and more. For all of these possibilities to come true, she needed to trust me. For me to earn her trust, training was a must. As a general rule, and there are exceptions, pigs do not automatically show all the friendly signs of what one would consider to be a loving pet. They usually exhibit varying degrees of shyness and fear, which can be problematic. At less than 1 year, Pee-wee was obedience trained and expecting her first litter. As word spread about this well-trained pig, I was approached by other pig owners belonging to the Southern Arizona Potbelly Pig Association, who suggested I might run a class. Loving the idea, I put together a course syllabus and sent it out to everyone on their mailing list. The training classes were held at the Handy Dog Pavilion, where dogs are trained for people with disabilities. Part of the proceeds went to Handy Dogs. This was an ideal location, as the area has a tennis court-type surface. Training pigs in grass would be too distracting for their natural desire to eat. That first day, you could feel the excitement in the air. Everyone was wearing big grins and hugging their pigs. What a fun thing to be able to do with your pig. For me, the first class was absolutely one of the most exciting and rewarding experiences I have had. It was a gift for me to be able to share with all of these other people what was possible. Pee-wee did her demonstration to show what their pigs would be learning during the training.
So with the wait command, you should be able to drop food in front of you.
No way.
And they have to be able to do that for at least 10 seconds. So, 1, 2, 3. I'm going to release her with the word, okay, Pee-wee. Well, we're going to start that. With the wait command, one of the sweet things about it is, wait is so functional. Whether you're getting in and out of a car, it's nice that you can say, wait. You know, you have to sit there and wait. You can get out, and they don't get to get out until you're done getting out. Whether it's putting your food down on the floor. And I'm sure that when you run into more than one pig, you know, that makes sense too. So is putting food on the floor. This is her pan, and this is the noise she's used to hearing. Yes, this is it. Okay. But I'll just give you a little demonstration. Even when it comes to feeding time, as if you have time. I'm just going to give her a little bit. She heard that. Everybody's just waiting. Okay. And on the 6th day, I'll just say stay. This is what they'll be doing in beginner's class. And they have to be able to sit and stay for a minimum. I think we set it at 30 seconds. I know. They'll also do a command that's called stay sit. What that means is that you can come in and you can touch them. Hand up to the head, over the head, down the back. They shouldn't move. And there's different ways that you can release them. You can say, again, I'm going to release them. Just my returning should not release her. Okay. Come command without walking backwards. Look a little more like this. Then there's another little exercise. If you've ever watched a dog be obedience trained, it's called the finish. So that's what you are. They sit in front, and it's called the finish because they return to heel position. And we're also going to do the downstay again. Oh, look at it. So they can also do downstage. The downstage is longer periods of time. Good. Good. Stay. You have to stay there. Stay. And with the downstay, another thing that's a little unique about that too is that you can go outside up there.
Now everyone realized what was possible. This was a gift for me. The joy of receiving is truly in giving. One of the first things people wanted to know was how to walk their pigs on a loose leash. They were equally interested in knowing how to deal with problem behaviors, such as soiling in the house and aggression. There is a need for training potbelly pigs. The benefits of training could be compared to the benefits of an education. We know to tell our children that a good education will ensure their future, so why haven't more people surmised that it will ensure an animal's future as well? This thoughtlessness has contributed to the euthanization of millions of animals each year. Untrained and therefore unmanageable dogs and cats end up at the shelters every day. As far as training equipment was concerned, we began walking the pigs on leash with the leash attached to their harness. 8 weeks later, we were training them with the use of training collar or a choker collar. The ideal pig training equipment has not yet been designed. As for other training aids, each owner wore a bait bag and brought along a variety of food rewards as well as a hungry pig to class. As the days grew warmer, nearing summer, we also found it necessary to train in the shade as much as possible. I went into this class with a vision. I just couldn't wait for the day when we had a line of pigs doing their sit-stays and down-stays together. Finally, that day came.
Stay. Stay.
The pigs were frequently rewarded with water breaks, which they grew very fond of.
Oh, now this is a first. Oh, does that feel good? That is a first.
They are so cute.
I have been asked numerous times to compare training a pig to training a dog. This is like trying to compare apples to oranges. They are, however, both really good students. We naturally modified training techniques to complement the pig. Obviously, consistent food rewards are very appropriate and necessary. holding much more meaning as you begin training the pig. Let's look at some of the requirements we had in order for them to graduate. In teaching recall, here the pig is told to sit and stay as the owner walks a distance, and then recalls the pig using the come command. They were also expected to sit automatically in front of the handler upon returning.
Oh, very good. Exercise finished. We're a ribbon winner, I can tell. Exercise finished. Good. Okay, Lulu. You leave your pig. Stay.
I saw a couple fake fish.
Oh, you Lulu, come. What a good girl. That's a good girl. Yeah, what a good girl. Lulu.
Here we see an exercise called sit for examination, a true test of courage for the pig. Here the pigs would have to sit and stay while someone other than their owner would approach to examine them by running their hand over their head and down their back. The pig would lose points for showing resentment for fear. With lessons learned, training came to an end. We were now ready to show our pigs at graduation. We had a large turnout of people who came to see the graduation exercises. Here we see little Lulu preparing to demonstrate the very first exercise, heel and sit. This requires walking on a loose leash at the owner's left and sitting automatically when they stopped. In pacing, the pig has two speeds, normal and slow. You'll also notice that we made left-about turns to complement their slow pace. Ginger Boykin, who acted as the judge, had the difficult task of scoring each team individually and then later deciding who would be first, second, and third place winners. Following the healing exercise, each team performed the sit for examination. It was Ginger's job as judge to examine the pigs. Here we see Jean Alvarado and her pig, Wilhelmina. Next we see Fred Jarka and his pig, Pixie, performing the sit for exam. What you don't see is how Pixie started out as the most aggressive and unapproachable pig in the class. Fred was reluctant to even enroll her in a group situation because of her biting. It's quite natural to want to avoid doing anything uncomfortable. But with training, we acquire a new attitude of embracing rather than avoiding these situations. And here Pixie successfully demonstrates the come command. Another exercise required of each team was the wait exercise. A piece of food would be placed in front of the pig and it was instructed to wait. It was only allowed to take it when the owner released them with the word okay. After each team was scored individually on their performance, we did the long sit-stays together as a group. The pigs were required to sit and stay for a full 1 minute. The final exercise was the long down. Here the pigs are scored on how easily they go into the down position, as well as maintaining the stay. The down command was actually one of the more difficult commands to teach. In dog training, the dog is required to lay down and stay for a longer period of time than they would sit and stay. This was not true for the pig in beginning obedience, who is much more comfortable in the sit-stay position. They were required to lay and stay for 30 seconds. When it was all over, their points totaled, we began the final exercise of handing out diplomas. Certificates were awarded to acknowledge that each pig had demonstrated the prescribed level of intelligence and desire for food in order to complete basic obedience training. And then Ginger Boykin made her comments to the class.
Nobody ran away, nobody, went sailing past the owner to visit someone on the sideline or anything like that, and that's really great. They did wonderful. I can't believe it. Yeah, I have, and you should be really proud because you've all done really, really great. Okay, third place is
Third place, Eleanor Earl and her pig, Lulu. Second place, Sherry Parker and her pig, Snorky. And taking first place, our formerly unapproachable piglet, Pixie. For those precious hard-working pigs, they were honored with an ice cream party. All of their hard work paid off. And of course, Pee-wee's piglets were now old enough to attend the celebration. Graduation received a lot of coverage from the media. With all of the attention to the class and graduation, it occurred to me how very unusual the story was for most people who see the pig as just a farm animal. We did it. We proved they are intelligent. And hopefully a story such as this will result in people being more thoughtful regarding all animals.
When we stand together, it's our finest hour. We can do anything, 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 anything. Keep believing in the power can build a between your heart and mine. Love can build
such a pity it's